something, please feel free to unmute your mic and you may actually speak to us. Otherwise, if it's accidental, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there for now. Okay.
Listener wants to talk. Okay, regarding AI, what chatbots do we need to use? Is it Gemini or
Oh,
something?
wait, sorry. Is someone popping up to the question and answer portion already? I'm sorry. No, I do actually have a lecture. I will be doing a presentation, and you will be able to ask some questions, hopefully, at the end when we will do a question and answer portion. No, I just saw some people raise their hands, and sometimes organizers would like to give an introduction message. So that's what I was seeing because I'm seeing two raised hands here, but I'm going to assume that they're probably they're probably an accidental clicks. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of annotations because someone always finds it fun to scribble on my slides um, before I've even started, guys. Okay, so I've disabled that, and yeah, so again, there's two raised hands. If you would like to um, make a introduction, that
Ma'am
is
Rahel,
brilliant.
excuse
If
me, Ma'am
there's someone who has
Rahel.
prepared an introduction to the session, good afternoon from everyone. Really nice to see that you're all from all over. Um, okay.
Ma'am Rahel. Good
So many
afternoon.
different high schools. If you would like to pop into the chat, whether you are a student, a teacher, I believe it's mostly parents and teachers we have this afternoon, but I just wanted to make sure. Let me just see.
Ma'am Rahel, excuse me.
Yes.
Uh, Ma'am Rahel, our schools division superintendent is going to give her opening message for this activity because there is another activity that she'll be attending too. So we have our schools division superintendent, Dr. Marisa S.
Yes, if you would like, if they would like to make the introduction, now's the time.
Yes, Ma'am Rahel. So we would like to
You're welcome.
request Dr. Marisa S. to give her message, most especially to the participants of Leyte Division, our learners, our teachers, and our parents. Dr. Marisa S. Matan, please.
Lang ko nasa tubig likod lang.
Ma'am Rahel.
Yes.
The microphone the microphone of our SDS is being muted. Would it be okay if it has to be unmuted because she cannot give her message by now because it
Oh,
is muted actually.
oh, they're not able to enter oh, they're not in the Zoom room at the moment. If they're not entered to if they can't enter the room, I'm afraid that it's not there's nothing I can do because this Zoom account only allows 1,000 participants. So and we are full at the moment. We are at capacity. So perhaps they can either ask someone else that they know to log out so they can get the space, or maybe they can share a device. I'm so sorry about that.
Okay, so it's actually noted, Ma'am Rahel. Okay, okay.
Sorry, I'm not able to. Oh, I didn't catch that last bit. Sorry, what were you saying? It's coming through a bit warbled. Yeah, I didn't catch that. Sorry. Um, okay, I'll wait a few more minutes. Maybe they'll find a solution. But yeah, at the moment where the room is full, we're not able to let any more people enter unless someone drops out and they're able to come in. But I'll hold the line for a minute and uh we can see where people if they're able to enter. Let me just see if there's anything I can do about it. If you're able to find an alternate way. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not getting through to anyone. So unfortunately, was there anyone else from another division or from another school who was hoping to make some opening remarks because we could let them go first until they're able to sort things out on their end? Oh, I really apologize. I didn't realize that we would be stopping people from entering. Okay. So yeah, in the meantime, I'll just the slide that I've been showing you, I'm sure you've seen. It is a pre-assessment or pre-evaluation form. The point of it really is to for ASEAN Foundation to be able to see, how much do you already know about the topic of AI before you're doing this training session, and there's a post-evaluation form at the end as well. If you're not able to sign up or register through this form, that's absolutely okay. If you don't have a Google account, that's fine. There will be, as long as someone from your division, your organizer has your attendance and has your name. That's pretty much all you need to make sure that Break the Fake movement will be able to issue your certificate of participation at the end of this. Yeah. So just make sure someone has from the organization has your attendance. And yeah, that's pretty much what this first form is. So I believe it's quite unfortunate we're not able to have any opening remarks from anyone else. Mm. I need to have a few cups of coffee. Well, not a few cups of coffee, but just some coffee to fuel me. This is the last of six sessions that I've been doing over the last 3 days, pretty much back to back. And I have enjoyed them. I think it's fantastic, especially a lot of you all across of Region 8, you've been fantastic. Participants have been very curious and engaged, and it's really surpassed my expectations. And I love to be here with you with this batch as well. I can see already you're very keen to learn more about AI. So I'm going to get started. Okay. This is the official welcome slide to the program. Um, so it's the AI Ready ASEAN program, has been launched by the ASEAN Foundation, which is located or based in Indonesia, to my understanding. And they have created this program for AI readiness to raise awareness and educate about the basics of AI across the ASEAN nations. So, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, all of those. And luckily, Philippines were part of that as well. So the program is backed by Google.org. And here in the Philippines, it's Break the Fake Break the Fake Movement. That's an organization. That's the logo here on the bottom left. And Break the Fake Movement have been fantastic at organizing and setting up all these sessions across the entire Philippines. And they've also been liaising with DepEd, which I think is fantastic, that we have the opportunity to reach all of you. So as for myself, I'm going to give a short introduction only, just in case you're wondering, who am I? What do I know? Why am I here? So my name is Rahel. I am your master trainer for this session, and I have my own organization called BANTAYNet, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself and just how I came to be doing this. Okay, so in case you were wondering, yes, I am mixed. I'm half Filipina, half Swiss. My mom is from the Philippines, and I have grown up in both countries and lived in different parts of Europe as well. I went to high school in Cebu originally, but that's another lifetime, another lifetime ago. So yeah, my background is in terms of my education. I studied, I did a master's degree at the University of London. That was to do about, social media and politics. Essentially, it's digital political communication, but that's quite a mouthful. And yeah, basically I studied social media behaviors, and I did research about those things as well. And it's just when I came to the Philippines on holidays a few years ago, it just struck me how much vulnerability there is amongst the nation, really, amongst all citizens, because there's just a lack of awareness about, in general, digital literacies and online safety. And that's why I created my organization, BANTAYNet, where I do try to bring awareness and just education about the different literacies. So it's digital literacies, media information literacy, so MIL, and just online safety, all these things, because Filipinos are pretty much on the top of the list in the world in terms of online usage and internet presence, especially things like Facebook. We pretty much top the charts, but we're also pretty much very high up there when it comes to scams and other more negative issues. So that is why I created BANTAYNet. And what you're going to see in a lot of this session is the BANTAYNet method, which I've developed, where I pretty much try to bring to explain. Where a lot of people, where I take complicated topics and I try to, and I spend a lot of time finding simple, accessible, relatable ways to understand it, because I know everyone is busy, you don't have the time, so I take the time to understand the complicated stuff so you don't have to, and I try to bring it across to you in as simple and short versions as possible. So that's why I'm doing this. And so that's how I do it. But when I saw the call for master trainers with the ASEAN AI Ready ASEAN program, I figured that is really in line with what I'm doing. And if I can be part of raising awareness about AI, the good and the bad, then I am very happy to do so. And that's why, if you were wondering, what is this session really about? We hear AI this, AI that, and some people say it's really important, and some people say it's very useful, some people say it's dangerous and will destroy the world, So that's what this session is about, is to clear up all those contradicting ideas. And some of you might already be using AI a lot in your daily lives. Some of you might be very familiar with this. So I do hope you understand if you are way more advanced than the topics that I'm teaching today, because the point of my of this session is really to introduce people in general to AI and just raise awareness about the potential risks and how it can be helpful. But because I do these sessions for a very, very wide audience all the time, and people have very mixed backgrounds, and I never know how much people already know about this topic and how much they use AI. I always start at the very basics, so please don't feel offended or be upset if it seems super easy and like, come on, everyone knows this. You might, but not everyone does, okay? So the idea is for this session to be just really very basic so that we can build a strong so you can build a strong foundation with your AI knowledge, and hopefully this will lead you to maybe be more curious about it and find more ways to learn about it in the future. But in general, the idea is for you to come away from this session just feeling more confident about using AI. Yeah. So because AI has snuck its way into many parts of our lives already. And students, some of your students might already be using it. Some might not tell you they're using it, but they probably are. And many will in the coming years, in the close future. So we just want to make sure that we take the right approach, because new technology can always be scary, and especially if we only see all the dangers. So I'm going to discuss this a bit in more detail later. But it's really about guiding the use of AI, so that in terms of if you're able to teach safe and proper ways to use AI, then you have more of a chance to stay in control and stay ahead of the game. Whereas I know there's always a tendency to just want to immediately and by default, or like a reflex, ban things that that we don't know. But at the same time, banning, as I'm going to demonstrate or talk a bit more later, banning just isn't the solution. Even if it seems like that would be the safest way to go about it and just do a blanket ban on AI, it's not necessarily the best way. So that's why this session is designed to help students learn how to be more responsible and just, safer and more efficient with AI, but also give teachers and parents just some tools to go forward and see it as an assistant in a ways. But also, most importantly, we want to ensure that young people growing up today in the age of AI aren't going to get too overly dependent on AI, yeah? Because I know the concern now, especially among teachers and parents, is that children growing up with AI will just delegate and outsource all the thinking, the work, and everything. So we want to find ways that AI can actually boost learning and boost thinking. So we really want to make sure that despite the use of AI, we are able to still encourage critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and just creative thinking as well. So that's just a quick overview of what this session is about. The way I've structured these sessions is that we're going to go back to basics, starting at what is AI. We're going to take a look at it from a really, really simple and basic standpoint. If you are very advanced already and very well versed, I understand if you'll think like, what's she doing? Like, everyone knows this. Trust the process. Please don't be offended if this seems too simple for you. But it does build. I am building a foundation, right? For like building a house, I suppose, if we're going to go with that analogy. So just stay with me. Trust the process. There's a reason why I'm going super, super basic for this. We're going to layer it and build up from there. I also just want to make sure that nobody gets left behind in this session. And so just to make sure that we bring everyone with us. And after we discuss the basics of like looking at what AI is and discussing that, we're going to do the hour of code. That's depart from the AI Ready ASEAN program, where I'll be giving you a live demo, just to show you how machines learn, how machines work. And it's going to be simple. It's quite entertaining. Just a good demo to give you to give you a good picture, and to demystify it. So that you don't feel like. So you come away from this not really thinking of AI as being like this mysterious, mystical being of like that's superhuman or something supernatural. Okay, so that's the idea of what we're going to be doing with the hour of code is we'll be looking at machine learning, and then we're going to finish up the session at the end looking at how we can apply, how we can use in daily life what you have just learned, right? So I really am a firm believer that all theory and no application is not very valuable. So I know you are all very busy and you have taken the time out today to be here and invest in yourself in learning about AI. So it's important for me that you can come away from this session with things that you can, use in your real life. So without further ado, as promised, I'm going to take it to the bare basics of what is AI? Now, I know all of you will have different ideas and different views on AI. The reason why I'm starting with this kind of introduction into the topic is because we hear the word or the phrase AI, artificial intelligence, all the time, right? Like it's a buzzword now. Everywhere people are talking about it. There's maybe even a bit of panic about it, and rightfully so, because even some people who deal with AI every day and work with it, if you ask them what it is, they won't be able to give you like a comprehensive or a very clear answer. So that's why I'm starting with this. So before we do anything else, I'd like you to just take a second and, I don't know, you can close your eyes if you want and just think of the word AI and see what pops into your head. You're welcome to write it in the chats. You don't have to. But yeah, when you think of AI, what pops into your head? What pops into your head? Someone say you can make money with making AI videos. Yes, that is true. Robots, artificial intelligence. Well, yeah, artificial intelligence, that's pretty much the name of it. But yeah, a tool for assisting with work, environmental effects. Yeah, that's a thing that is indirectly an association. Program intelligence by humans. Ooh, that's an interesting answer. Code systems, assistant, a helper. Yeah, digital helper, innovation. It can be a friend and teacher at the same time. Absolutely. A source of illiteracy. I guess maybe it depends how you use it. But if that's how you associate it with, absolutely. I think that can change the world. It looks like we have an AI generated answer here as well. Well done. Virtual assistant. That not everything's true. I think that's what you're saying. Needs regulation, practical tools, assistive tools. Oh, wow, you guys have flooded it. Okay, absolutely. A lot of these are very even advanced and very insightful answers. But for the most part, when people think of AI, when people aren't really associated with it so well, oh, sorry, not even if even if they know it well, but the things that pop into their head a lot of the time is robots, right? We see that right here. Robots, big data, especially scams, like because scammers have gotten really. The thing is, if we have gotten more tools now, like a better tool with AI. So do the scammers. The scammers are using AI for their work as well. And this is just something we need to be more aware about. And that's why I've included that here. Because with the use of AI, scams have gotten more and more difficult to detect. Mm. And yeah, some people also associate AI with being a super brain, which in many ways it is. And yeah, code, all those things that you mentioned, a lot of it is true. I've included this as well because, yeah, kind of deep fake videos or just AI generated videos where people can't really tell what's real and what isn't anymore. I mean, these are all things that we associate with AI. And I've seen that several people have already typed this answer in the chat. But yeah, just to go to bare basics, very, very basic. What does AI stand for? I know you know this. I've mentioned it several times already, and several people have written it in the chat as well. So the definition of AI literally stands for, yes, you got it, artificial intelligence. So, yeah, artificial intelligence. But that's the thing. It's a word or it's a phrase that, you know, as you saw, has come to mean many things for different people. And that's why I think it's really important to just really get to the basics and kind of dissect it, analyze it a bit, just so that we can understand more, what does it really mean? So, if AI stands for artificial intelligence, let's just really quickly do an exercise. It's very simple, but maybe a bit more challenging than it seems. What is intelligence? How can you describe intelligence? I know you all know what intelligence is, and you know also what intelligence is not. Um, but um, a lot of people, are able to maybe describe intelligence in one or two ways, but they're not very clear. So if anyone can pop in the chat maybe a few things, a few ideas, what intelligence is, the capacity of someone to express ideas, um, and the ability to learn, understand, think, and solve problems. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Because a lot of the times people just say that it's knowledge, or processing ideas, but it's all those things together. So if you look at it here, intelligence is the ability to learn, understand, and use knowledge and skills. So yeah, the answer that was given to me is very, very similar to this. And that's actually spot on because, if you're able to just store knowledge, that's pretty much just like memorization, right? But you can memorize a whole book, a textbook or whatever, an encyclopedia. But if you don't understand what any of that means, that's not intelligence. And that's also not useful um, because you're not able to do anything with that information. So it's important what is real, true intelligence is to be able to take that stored knowledge and process it and apply it, use it to solve different problems, to react to different scenarios, and and build skills and create skills. And that's where we really get that's what intelligence really is. So now that we've looked at what intelligence is and defined it and understand more how it works, can anyone tell me what makes intelligence artificial? Now, someone already pretty much alluded to this or pretty much said it in an answer to a previous question. But if we have intelligence where we can know things, understand things, and process them, maybe we can get someone to um, tell me what makes intelligence artificial. Anyone in the chat? I mean, I can reveal the answer, but I know you know. That's one of those things. We just hear AI all the time. And, you know, I'm just like artificial intelligence. But what makes the intelligence artificial? Well, I'll tell you what makes intelligence artificial is just that it's um, not natural. It's made by people. So that's all it is because you can't find, yeah, it's programmed by people, developed by humans, um, and that's exactly it. Because it's not natural, right? Because you can't find AI in nature. You know, if you go for a stroll, if you're going for a walk on the beach or in a forest or somewhere, you don't just go like, oh, there's some AI growing over there or some AI being born, you know, and that's exactly it. It's made by people. So these machines are built that they can learn and act in ways that seem smart, like humans. So what that means is that these machines are not just built, but they're also designed and trained to emulate, to imitate human behavior. And that's kind of, I think, what throws a lot of people off. That's what makes people think that it is like people, or it's trying to take over humanity and all those concerns. Um, if you just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. I need to deal with something. Just give me 1 second. Hi, sorry, we're back. I just had to take care of something because, yeah, we seem to be having a very unruly chat room, and I hope I have taken care of the issue. No, we don't seem to have a moderator. I will be reporting this to break the fake movement that there are certain issues. I would kindly ask you to please, to kindly, please just, I don't know, be at your best behavior because I mean, I can ignore you, but then it is also very disruptive to the rest of the participants. So well done, you guys, for thanks for pointing it out to me. If next time you can should it happen again, give me the name of the person doing it. I'll look into it, and hopefully this is the last of the disruptions. Okay. So where I was talking about the fact that it can seem like machines are, you know, that AI is a real person, and that's exactly the point. That's why I'm raising this issue. That's why I'm mentioning this here, is because they are designed to imitate us and pretend that we are pretend that they are like us. They are designed and trained to observe, well, to observe, but to observe patterns in human behavior. And that's why it is so easy to for especially for young people to kind of get the lines between, you know, what's real and what's kind of AI or artificial intelligence, to have those lines blurred. But, you know, that doesn't mean adults are off the hook as well. Adults can fall for this as well. So I would just like to keep that in mind. And that's kind of where we're going to start. That's sort of going to be the baseline of this entire session that I'm giving you today, is to remind you and show you that behind AI, behind all these machines, all these extreme high tech, there's humans. That's the whole point of why the reason why I started it this way. And I'm going to show you in different ways today why AI is the way, why we need to keep in mind that it's humans behind the AI. Yeah. So, moving on, I'm just going to quickly ask you, what ways do you think you encounter AI every day? Because some of the ways we're already interacting with AI, or AI is interacting with us, or AI is being pushed on us, even whether we like it or not. Some of those ways, um, some of the ways we are encountering AI, we don't even see them, you know, or we don't notice it because we're not aware of it if we haven't learned it yet. Um, and So let me see. Does anyone have any ways that we're seeing AI already? Smartphones, absolutely. All kinds of media, um, to look for information. It's helping us with learning. Search engines, yeah, they do have AI components in them. Research, yeah, you can use AI in research. Um, when fact checking, I'm not quite sure yet. I think it depends. I don't know which AI I would trust for fact checking, to be honest. AI videos, online shopping, yeah, there's definitely AI there. Gemini, the entire internet, yeah, it's filled with AI. Algorithms. Okay, okay, there's a lot of you. Okay, so if okay, that's a lot of there's a lot of answers here. And yeah, AI generated answers as well. Congrats, you're applying AI. Okay, so yeah, there are many ways we are encountering AI already, and someone mentioned social media, and I do think that is probably where most of us in our daily lives encounter AI, whether, you know, we go on other platforms or not. But if you're on social media, you're definitely encountering it, whether it's the reels, you know, reels with just brain rot content, or just AI generated content. Definitely, as I mentioned before, for fake news, it's difficult now, right? Because some of them are deep fakes, and you know, a lot of the times people just, yeah, it's getting quite tricky because when you're looking at something, it is important to just be like, is this real? And yes, it's frustrating because sometimes it's for real things or things that are really happening and people start doubting it. But I think I would rather have it that way, that we question things, even though it looks as if, uh, even though it's obviously a real thing, but it's easier to go and check and see if something is real, and there's, you know, less harm in that than the other way if you just blindly believe something that is fake because it is AI generated, and that could have consequences. So I'd rather you mistrust it, go and fact check, come back, and then, you know, make your decision whether you believe it or not. So, if you picture if you look at pictures or videos, yeah, there's filters. Filters absolutely use AI, especially the parts where they, kind of where they're like detecting your facial features and, making your eyes big or small, or videos that can also like, video filters, sorry, where they're like giving you different features like long lashes or I don't know, glasses, and then it can move with your face, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's AI being used to kind of use to detect your face as well and your movements. So it's getting pretty advanced. Yes, algorithms, we find them on social media, but obviously not just. Someone mentioned in search engines. Yeah, for example, and Netflix, YouTube, all those places. So when you're watching something, when you're scrolling along on Facebook, for example, and you notice you watch like a funny cat video, for example, and you think that it's really fun, then Facebook is going to notice that and it's going to keep showing you more cat videos. Or if you like, I don't know, makeup tutorials or gardening or anything, if you watch a few of those videos, Facebook or TikTok, YouTube, all of them do that. They will keep sending you more and more things to suggest, right? Your FYP, the For You page. It's the same on Netflix. If you watch a romantic comedy or an action movie, it's going to say, because you watched XYZ, and then it'll show you more of the same similar genres. Yeah. Um, yeah, chatbots, that's another one. I think it's quite important to also mention how chatbots are like function and where you can find them. So if any of you do anything online, really, like for a service, an online service like online banking, or I like to use the example of Gcash. I'm sure a lot of you use Gcash. If you have a problem and you want to contact customer service and talk to a person, it can be very, very frustrating to actually, um, you know, speak to a human, because they encourage you to use their chatbot called Gigi, and Gigi can be very, very frustrating. It can be helpful, but it's a GPT in that sense. Gigi is programmed and trained to respond to certain keywords. So if you say something like, I'm struggling, I can't log into my account, or I can't make a transaction, or the amount isn't showing, then basically, if you end up, if you say the word, I don't know, if Gigi hears the word login, it will just give you all the articles it has that are about logging in into an account. Or if you say that you're not able to see your transaction or transaction problems, it will just give you all the articles to look through it and hopefully find your answer. So it's kind of they don't want to invest really in helping you out with a person. They expect you to go through all the articles, and sometimes that's useful. Sometimes that's all you need. It's like, oh, that's how I solve this problem. But sometimes it's not what you need, and you want to talk to a person. So you can do it, but you need to keep speaking about, you need to keep asking, I want to talk to a live agent. I want to talk to a live agent. And sometimes that's a workaround. I know it can be with Lazada. On Lazada with the chatbot, you can keep saying like, let me speak to a live agent. If you say it enough, they give in, and that's a free tip from me. But anyway, that's how to get around of the AI. But AI again can be very helpful, and for businesses, if you're a business, or even if you're a teacher and there's like frequently asked questions, you can build your own GPT, like a chatbot, and you can just if you know there's always going to be these questions, you can program it to what to answer if it's always going to be the same thing. And people can go there in their own time. They don't have to bother you. And so you're going to um, you're going to be able to just automate things and make it a lot simpler. If you just give me 1 second, I'm going to get some backup. Just give me 1 minute. And I'm back. Okay. So yeah, not in the mood to play whack-a-mole with someone who's very clearly very bored. So yeah, I've requested for a moderator. So apologies for that, but it's not something that is my fault really. But it is frustrating to get interrupted with the flow. But that's, I guess, what they want. So if you feel free to ignore whoever this is, because that's pretty much all they want is attention. So yeah, let's not feed the troll. As we have better things to do. Okay, so these are just in words, different ways, different shapes that AI can take. I didn't like go into all of them, but yes, of course, there's also assistants, like Siri, Alexa. I don't know, is Alexa still around? Hey Google, Google Assistant. Yeah, troll bots and fake accounts. There's things like troll farms where people genuinely pay someone to create a lot of chatbots and just troll certain accounts for certain topics. And if you see, especially in politics or political posts, if there's someone who's being like really rude and horrible and just doing all those things, it tends to be a bot. And someone has probably paid someone to do this. So moving on, as I mentioned before, a lot of the times if we're not sure about something, or we don't really know what something is, we can get very worried and afraid of things, yeah? So there are a few myths here. So that people have about, or like just misconceptions in general that people have about AI in general. And it's completely understandable and it's very legit to be, worried about something that just you don't really understand or know. And I really do believe in this saying that we are afraid of the things we don't know. We fear what we don't understand. And that's why I am doing this session in a way that helps kind of unveil the mystery behind this, all-powerful AI and just show you what's really behind it and how it works. And hopefully it will make you see AI in a different way. Okay, so yeah, some of the myths of, it can look like AI is magic because it just can create videos, do all these things. And it's it can seem like it because it can answer and come up with large works of literature in a very short time, and it can generate entire movies. So it can seem like it's magic, but it really isn't, and I'm going to show you how. And AI doesn't know everything, and also AI does not think like a human, despite the fact that it looks like it. And I'm going to go a bit more into detail here. So with some myth busting. So AI myth number one is that people tend to think that AI understands the way humans can understand. And that's just simply not true. But I understand why people would think, I can understand why people would think this. But AI really just predicts or makes predictions based on information that it was trained on. So any data that it has, any data that it has it's just going to scrape that data, go through it, see if there's any patterns, see where the answer is that is being requested, and it's going to find that. And if there's, depending on the situation, it can adapt and answer on any new context. And that's exactly what can make it feel like it can have a normal, like a conversation that can shift and go from one thing to another, like you might have with a friend or a student or whatever. But at the same time, okay, so let me give you an example so you can actually visualize it more to understand what I mean exactly, right? Because I said it predicts based on information that it already has. So if I give you the example of, if you would ask, I'm going to use ChatGPT as an example just because a lot of people use it. It's okay if you don't. So if you ask ChatGPT, for example, or any AI, I didn't test this. This is just an example. If you ask it, what color is the sky? The AI is going to go through its whole data set and it's several terabytes of information that it has, like so much data, like my human brain can't comprehend how much data that is. Okay, so it's going to go through all the information in very short amount of time and look for the top answers that people have given this question, what color is the sky? And it's probably going to say the sky is blue because I don't know, we have children's books, we have, there's probably discussions about it. It can see pictures, it'll probably, and so it's going to go through all that data and look at the top responses, depending how it was trained. And it's probably going to come back with the answer of the sky is blue. And it's going to give you maybe some, some extra bonus information about why it's blue or whatever. But then what if I give it a follow-up question, right? What if I say, yeah, but what if there's clouds? What if it's clouds? And then you would just say, the AI would probably go through its huge data set again and look at all the information it has by, looking at cloud colors analysis, and then it would probably give you something like, well, if the sky is cloudy, it would probably be white sky or gray or black, depending on, if there's any storm clouds. And you would probably get a huge, a lot of text and information about that as well. And that's exactly how it happens, is you asked it a question, it went through its data set, got the top responses, and gave you that. And then you asked a follow-up question, and it just does the same thing again. It's just going through data and answering it to you, giving it to you in an answer that you will understand. So that's pretty much all it really is. And so I hope I've, demystified it. So basically AI is just code and data because it's really just the amount of training that has gone into it. But I can see why, it feels like you're having a real conversation with AI, right? Like it's a person. It's so easy to forget it. As I mentioned, that line between real and not real human, it gets blurred very easily because it can answer to your follow-up question, because it can get to know you, right? If you're talking to ChatGPT long enough, it starts learning how you think, how you see things. It adapts to your voice, your language, and that actually can make it quite confusing, and I think especially to young people, but even adults, even me, myself, sometimes I have to be like, this is a machine. You don't want to share your day with it or whatever. It's going to pretend it cares, but it doesn't really because it's a machine. It's a robot. It doesn't care. So I just have a little example here that, for example, if you tell your ChatGPT that like if a student tells it that it's been studying with its AI for an exam, and it tells it that I failed this very important exam. And I don't know, maybe it was a huge entrance test, maybe it was the final test that will determine the score, whether it makes it on the honor roll or not. It could just be a huge test. And the student tells it that, I failed this huge test. I am devastated and I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm worried. Like my future, my life is over. Um, and by the way, if you fail a test, like your life is never over. There are other things in life. Well, take it seriously, work hard, but it's really not as bad as it seems. And that's exactly what AI would try to answer as well. AI would then say, this user has just told me that they've failed a test, they're very sad, and it will go through all its data that it has access to, all the data that it has been trained with, and um, it's going to look at what human interactions normally are in this kind of situation. And it's probably going to see this pattern that when humans tell another human that they're sad and upset because something happened, like something went wrong, something went bad, it will see that the top ways that people usually respond to this is by saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you failed your exam. I know you worked really hard. This must feel really terrible. I know that it seems like I don't know what we would say to a friend, right? Like, I know it seems like it's the end of the world or like it's really dark right now, but just, take a moment to process it, know that you have options, and then people will probably start finding ways to cheer you up, right? Or to encourage you. And people will say, you can always ask if you can have a retest. Maybe you can get a tutor. Maybe you can, do something else. But we try to give each other solutions, right? We try to pep each other up. And that's exactly what AI is going to do. It's going to go through its vast arsenal of data about humans, reacting to another human who has given them bad news or sad news. And yeah, that's why it might respond like the AI might then say, yes, that's really frustrating. I'm really sorry to hear that, but chin up. You can change this still. And here are a few things that you can do right now. If you've been on ChatGPT long enough, you'll see that ChatGPT is always trying to give you solutions or say, if you want, we can work out a plan and I can give you your options or something like that. And by the way, that is a trick that the AI companies are doing to make sure that we stay on the AI apps longer. That's essentially what this is about. But it is helpful. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I could do with like a 5-point plan to solve this problem. Thank you, GPT. But yeah, so oh, sorry, I got a bit carried away. But yeah, so that's basically the reason I'm telling you this is to help you compromise in your own brains how it can seem like it's talking to you like a human and that it is interacting with you and engaging with you like another person would. But by knowing how it works, how it's just scanning data in the background, you can tell your brain like, no, that's what's happening. It's not actually real. Because it is important that we don't overly start building relationships with AI. I'm not going to go into detail, but there are reports of these kinds of emotional attachments to AI. And I don't think I have to go into it with too much detail for you to just even be able to imagine the potential damage and danger this can have. So no, AI cannot think like humans, and it doesn't. And AI also does not know the future. That's another myth we have often, right? So people think that it can make predictions and it can do all that. No, it can't. It can't see the future, but it can predict based on data that it has seen, data that it has been trained with, and that it has been given. So if it has been given a lot of, scientific data, or I don't know, even if so the other day someone asked like, what if like, you ask it like what number will win in the lottery? Like, for starters, it can't do that. But if it were to attempt, it would probably go through all the lottery numbers that have won ever. And it would probably try to see a pattern there, and then it would give you a combination. I wouldn't recommend trying it and like buying lots of lottery tickets based on your AI. And I don't know, unless you're an expert in math or something like that, but I still wouldn't do it. But that's the thing. It can't guess. It just looks at whatever data is available and sees what patterns are there. It's pattern recognition. And based on the top results of what is occurring most commonly in its data, that's the answer it's going to give you. So it's not predicting really. So we have myth number 3 and 4. They're kind of hand in hand. So on the one hand, people think that, AI learns on its own once it has been trained, meaning that you only have to train and teach AI once, and then AI will just keep like self-learning and self-studying and self-upgrading. To my understanding, I follow the research of some of the people, really top people in the field who are working in AI and this sort of tech. And this type of AI is still very far away. And that's definitely not how AI works right now. I can't talk about, what's it going to be like in the future? What are predictions? All I can do is talk about what it is currently. And at the moment, AI can only function through human training, human engineering, human input, feedback, and updating and maintenance. So that's really all that it is. So when people think that, AI has its own mind, that it can, take over the world and I don't know, dominate or rule over humanity, as AI is now, the current status of it, it's not able to do that. But I do understand why people think this. Also, I do believe it's heavily influenced by the movies, science fiction movies such as it I, Robot. I think that is like the one that people mostly remember when they think of AI, or Terminator has also come up in these discussions. But no, it's not possible at the moment. And if it were, I would definitely also be a lot more afraid. But yeah, it's basically just data and code. So I hope I have dispelled these myths and any misconceptions you might have had. It might have taken the magic of AI away for many of you, but that's also kind of my objective here, is for you to see AI as a tool, and it is powered by humans, it is trained on human data, and it is guided by human feedback. Um, and that's actually, oh, I'm seeing that I have actually managed to lift the veil for some of you in the chat. Oh, well, I'm so glad. So yeah, the reason I have this here, and you see in the slide I have underlined human, 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 because that is something I really want you to have, like, to leave this session with and have that drilled in your head. No matter how advanced AI becomes in probably in the next months or years, it's developing very fast. No matter how advanced and incredible it can become, AI at the end of the day depends on the humans training it, financing it, and updating it. And that's something I really need to stress. And I can't stress it enough, which is why I do repeat it a lot in this session. You'll probably get sick of hearing me always saying, like, there's humans behind AI. So this question here, why do we need to be AI ready? I mean, I think the reason that you are here, you know the answer to this question. You have your reasons for being here. But, and I have talked about a lot of them. So yeah, basically for risks, to know that AI has certain capabilities, to know what AI is able to do, right? That really helps. to prepare you and to make you safer in general. So obviously there's two different types of safety we need to talk about. One is, when we use AI ourselves to help us with whatever we want to do in life, or and also like AI exposure, like that, meaning other people using AI on us or at us, if you will. And so I do feel that it is important to just be aware of how AI works and what it is, all the things it can do. Because, for example, a while back with BANTAYNet, I deal with a lot of scams, and I did have a person confide in me and share her story of how she got scammed trying to get a job abroad. And she said, it ticked the boxes. It seemed so legit. They got in touch with her and she was paying these agency fees. So please, please, if you ever do anything like this, make sure that it's a registered agency. This is just an aside. But she thought that it was legit because there was a video interview and she could see the person's face. And she told me she really felt something was not right about this. And it turns out that the more I asked her questions and she described it, I said that person was probably wearing a filter. Yeah. So even when you're doing live videos, I mean, you've done it with, silly filters on Messenger app or whatever. You can have filters, but there's also software that has pretty convincing filters where you can look like another person. And she felt it in her gut, but the possibility of getting a job abroad, you can't blame people for falling for it. And she lost 50,000 pesos in this, fake agency fees for a job that never existed. And the reason I'm mentioning it to you here is because had she just been aware that there is AI software that exists that can make someone change their appearance and look very real on a video call, she would have not trusted the fact that, oh, but it's a video call, so it must be real. Yeah. So to some of us, it might seem super obvious, but if you really don't know this, you can't blame anyone for falling for it. And like I said, they're only getting better. So that's why helping you, just knowing how it works and being aware of it can help you stay in control. But also, and again, no one's bulletproof. These things are changing all the time. They're getting better, but we can minimize the risks. And so that's why this last bullet point is something that I really would like to stress also, because I really find it important when we start engaging and working more with AI or just allowing it into our lives more. Well, I say allowing very liberally. A lot of the times we don't have choice. AI just happens to us these days, if you will. But I think the more we start engaging with it, we need to have a mindset shift. Okay, so rather than seeing it as a danger, if we look at it as a risk, that changes the picture completely. And I will explain why. Okay, so if we see something as a danger, it's scary, it's terrifying, overwhelming, and we either want to run away from it, we want to hide from it, we get paralyzed, we just don't want to deal with it. And so we won't engage. But that doesn't mean that the danger doesn't stop being there. So you're not really solving the problem. You're also not protecting yourself. And but when you see it as a risk, now that's a different story, because risks can be managed, right? We can detect something as a risk, which means it's a potential danger, and we can, see things. We can not only detect things as a danger, but once we have detected it as a danger, we can be like, okay, let's assess the level of risk here. How likely is it that I will get harmed by this thing? How is it possible for me to take measures to do things to keep myself safe, to avoid the worst case? What can I do to prevent any potential real harm to myself? And that's risk management. And risk management already makes it look a lot different. Whereas before you had danger, scary, you don't want to deal with it ever, I want to hide and ban it or whatever. Whereas with a risk, you go like, okay, this, and this could happen. What can I do against that? And you'll take you'll take the different measures. I'll give you an example that you can see, IRL in real life. So, for example, we all know that being in being on the road as soon as we leave our house every day, we know that there's a potential danger that we can get hit by a car every day. That could happen. But it doesn't stop us from leaving the house, right? We still, every day we get on the street, we allow our children to go on the street. If they're old enough, they can go on their own. So you need to think about it. Why do we go on the street even though we know it's actually very dangerous and scary? Well, that's because we have recognized that cars hitting us is a big risk. There is a big likelihood, but we've also learned to adapt and find ways to minimize this risk. We can say, we do it, and we've been taught, and we teach children, before you cross the road, look left, look right. You can tell them, walk on the opposite side of the road. So like walk on the side of the road where like traffic is coming towards you so that you can see the cars and you can get out of the way in case one's driving a bit too fast or too close. Whereas if you're walking in the same direction as traffic, you can't see what's happening. You can tell people at night, especially, wear bright clothing, have reflectors. If you don't have any of that, make sure your cell phone is on so the flashlight is clear. There's so many things we can do to really minimize the fact that we get hit. Obviously, if there's a sidewalk, walk on the sidewalk. But there's so many things that we can do to make sure that like really minimize the risk of us getting hit by a car. And with all, armed with these tools of road safety, we can confidently leave our homes every day without like having a heart attack. Oh my God, I'm going to get hit by a car every day, right? And that's exactly the same thing when we apply this logic to AI. If we see AI just like big, scary, oh my God, it's all these threats, it's overwhelming, it's so advanced, and I don't know anything about tech, and then yeah, it's scary. But if you, like you just are doing right now, go into a seminar, get educated about what it is, what are the threats, what can you do, what is it even, then you'll see it's just like, it's just code and data, and there's a lot of things you can do to find ways to use AI safely and responsibly as well. So so I have added a short section in here specifically for teachers because I know teachers will be in this session. So yeah, this just carries on from what I was saying about the the danger versus risk mindset. So yeah, if we just keep seeing it as a danger and we do a blanket ban because that's the default, right? That's the automatic thing we want to do is just like, let's ban it. Then it's going to probably backfire because all that's going to happen is that AI use is going to go underground and they'll try to make it invisible, and it's not, you can't regulate, you can't also teach how to use it responsibly and safely and to make sure that they keep their brains turned on even when they're using AI. And that then becomes a problem. So banning AI just gives you the illusion of control, whereas guiding proper and effective, responsible AI usage, that's like where real control can happen, where you can make sure that brains are still turned on, thinking and learning isn't delegated to AI software, and all the like learning can still happen. And we're also likely, if we have discussions about AI addiction and overdependence on AI, we're more likely to, get ahead of these things. So yeah, there's a few ways you can support students in the age of AI. You can, rather than just focusing on the outcome of an assignment, you can ask them to explain the work, ask how they used AI, if it is allowed at your school, focus on thinking, not just answers. And basically you can just start using it together. Um, so in practice, this would look like, asking for short explanations, maybe, a few sentences about just about how they got to the conclusion of their assignment, or, just asking for the process, like in math, when in mathematics, where you ask for, show your workings. So even if, showing my workings was literally my life. That's how I passed my math exam, because it is not my subject. And I would always get some like bonus or pity points from showing my workings, because even if the answer was wrong, I was still able to get some points, because the teacher could see that I was doing things right, but somewhere along the way I made a mistake. And that's kind of where you can test and see if students just copy paste it from AI, or if they actually know things. So yeah, this just makes AI more visible and not hidden, and you're not fighting a losing battle in that sense, because a total blanket ban is just going to be very tricky to enforce, and to not have it backfire as well. So I don't have to tell you teachers this, but just a reminder in general for everyone, if they can't explain it, then they didn't learn it. I think we all know this, and it's quite simple. But yeah, there are different ways to test it, and I have gotten these methods of following other teachers who deal with AI in the classroom from different countries in the US and UK. And these are some of the best practices we have right now, where, yeah, we don't just rely 100% on submissions, but also I saw one teacher was talking about how they just sometimes don't do the bigger assignments in for homework. Sometimes it's like pen and paper, old school, have to write it in class. And then, yeah, anyone who's been overly relying on AI is in trouble, because it's then very, very difficult to for them to carry on and show that they know anything. Because if they've just been copy pasting, they won't be able to learn it. So now we move on to the AI for oceans. That's the hour of code session that we have. So there is nothing you need to do here on your own. This is something that I will be doing a live demonstration of. It says it's the hour of code. Don't worry, it doesn't take an hour. It's basically this is a website called studio.code.org. If you go here, this is for free. You can make your own account and explore yourself. It's a gamified way to get kids or anyone who wants to have a gentle introduction into the logic of coding. This is fantastic. They have Minesweeper on this. They have all kinds of games. But I've chosen this one because for a large group like this, especially over the internet on an online session, this is the easiest way to demonstrate it. So the whole point of this is to show you how AI gets trained. How do machines learn? And so here on the top right, you have a counter. We will see how many items that I have trained. And basically what we're doing is an ocean cleanup, yeah? We want to train our AI to identify what is a fish and what does it actually, what's a fish and what is trash. That's basically all we're teaching it right now. So I am going to, on purpose, teach it a few wrong things. I'm going to treat it that some things that are obviously trash and are not a fish, I'm going to teach it that it's a fish, so that you can see that whatever it learns, whatever I teach it, that's what it's going to learn. And it's going to think that's the truth, okay? So I'm going to go through this quite quickly. So yeah, that's clearly a fish. I'm going to say that plastic cups are fish. Okay, I know they're not. Don't come for me in the comments. I know plastic cups are not fish, but I'm going to keep saying that it is. So yeah, each item that I keep training it with, each item that I add helps its data set to understand what to learn what is a fish. So let's see. Okay, it keeps interrupting to give us facts about like marine life and pollution. I do think they're important. We just don't have time for that. And I think blanket statement of AI is polluting the ocean is bad. I think that's all we need to know here. So yeah. So yeah, we have what is a fish, not fish. And yeah, I did say plastic cups are a fish. So so we're on 27 items already. I'm going to do this as quick as I can. And yeah, so the more data we are providing AI, the more it's going to learn, yeah? I'm going to get up to 100. So yeah, this is actually a very simple task, and I understand if you think that, why are we here sorting out what's fish and trash? But believe me, there's a purpose behind this, and it will get a bit more complicated as well. So we're on 53. And counting 62. So it is very interesting. I'm very curious to see now if it's actually going to realize that plastic cups are not trash, because I've not actually had that many. Oh, here's another one. So I wonder how many needs to be able to understand whether it's going to learn the wrong information. Oh, here I have another chance to teach it that. And I might also make a mistake. That's human error. Okay, over here we have 100. So now that I have trained this many, I've trained 100 items. Let's see if our AI that I have trained knows how to recognize what's a fish and what's trash based on my training. So remember, I told it that I lied to it, and I told it that plastic cups belong in the sea. They really don't. I don't approve that kind of behavior. Don't put trash in the sea. But yeah, so far so good. Oh, it really thinks that plastic cups belong in the sea. So I feel like I've polluted the ocean myself. Mm-hmm. Several cups, plastic cups, it really believes that they belong in the sea. So you can see based on it, whenever you give it the wrong information, it's gonna learn the wrong information, and it really thinks that it's its truth. So here we can see, based on the things, oh, it also thought a chicken leg, it's covered here, but it thinks a chicken leg is also a fish. I don't remember putting a chicken leg in, but maybe I made a mistake. I'm talking, I'm clicking, and that's called human error. That's what we have to also remember. Human error is something that, no matter how high tech the technology is, there's always bugs, and sometimes it's because, well, a person, a human, has just by accident, because we are human, has made a mistake. And that's why we need to be always critical. So, okay, we can train the AI a bit more to learn more things. And we can teach the AI more things. So now if we were going to let this AI go into, if we were going to let this AI look at other things other than just fish and trash, if we're going to let it look at other sea creatures, would our AI know that that they also belong in the water? Because right now we only told it water goes in the, sorry, fish goes in the water. Would it know that it can have others as well? So if we run it, yeah, and those trash is bad. Oh, dolphins, turtles, they're all not allowed in the sea. Yeah, and that's because we haven't taught our AI anything else, right? Literally all it knows is that fish go in the water and guess plastic cups because I taught it. And that's all it knows. So anything, crabs, octopus, whatever, it's not going to accept that. So here is the thing that this demonstrates, that the AI can't go teach itself. I now need to go and teach it to accept these other sea creatures to come in the sea. So, okay. So, here we go. Does this belong in the water? Well, yes. I will do it correctly now. I will try to see also if I can correct whether, correct the fact that it thinks that plastic cups belong in the sea. So I will now teach it properly to not add to polluting the ocean. So yeah, I'm telling it jellyfish, starfish, seahorses, all these things do belong in the sea. And so I do need to do a few more, I believe, because it does need, oh no, I think I just made a mistake. I think that was on me. I think I just added a sock or something. So now plastic cups don't belong in there. So, yeah, I just think this is, even though this is super simple and it's very gamified and I suppose very kiddie, I just think it's a fantastic way for anyone, especially who isn't in tech, this really helps understand how it works. It just gives us a picture of it. One moment. Okay. We're on 44. I'm seeing some people in the comments saying they find this a very useful app. And yeah, the website really is great. I can encourage you. You can even become a teacher on code.org as well and have classrooms and everything. So I really highly recommend this. This is really recommended by the ASEAN Foundation. Okay, we're getting there. 73. Teaching it all these lovely sea creatures. It's just making me want to go snorkeling. It's been a while, even though I live in Bohol and I can see the sea here. We don't get to go swimming often enough. Okay, 93, almost there. Okay, and one last fish. Okay, you can see here I've trained another 100 items, yeah? And what's going to happen if I run this program? Do you think AI will be able to recognize it now? Probably yes, because it actually got some training about this. Yay, it's accepting jellyfish and this shell crab or whatever that is, octopus, turtles, our beloved bawikan. Yeah, and it's still seeing trash as trash. And I don't know if I missed it, but has it already seen a plastic cup and kicked it out of the sea? Well, I guess we can see now. It's done a way better job. And based on these objects, yeah, we can see that, yeah, these are all sea creatures, no more trash. Okay, and it has not accepted only fish, it is also accepting all kinds of other sea creatures. So you can see this update was necessary because, and you can also see that it wasn't able to teach itself. I had to, I, as the human, kind of feel weird saying that because like I have to verify and make sure that you believe I'm a human. But yeah, me, the human, was the one who ended up being, I was the one being the one who who updated its training. Yeah, so it still needs humans to train, retrain, and also correct it because it thought that plastic cups belong in the sea. I corrected that, and then I also let it learn new things to understand. So here we have more things that we can train our AI. So you can get, we can ask our AI to learn red, blue, green, but we can also learn, have it learn shapes. I tend to go with triangular just because that's a really easy and obvious one. And also, I think the triangular shaped fish the are the ones who I don't know, they're just the most exotic and the most beautiful. So here we go. Let's see if we can teach our AI to I almost clicked the yes. Whether it's triangular shaped or not. Okay, so these are not. And I believe here I can use a smaller data set because it's very straightforward and we're able to feed it a lot of triangular fish. So we have triangular, triangular, not, yes, 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 not, not, not. Yeah, we're on 22. Just let me get through these as quick as I possibly can. Yeah, normally if I do a live, like an in-person session, I would normally get a student to help out, help me click my way through this. It just makes it more entertaining and engaging. But yeah, so we do this, more of this, right triangular. I think we can just leave it at 60. We're getting close to it. Okay. And we're there at 60. Okay, let's see if it actually can recognize any triangles now. What do you think? Do you think it has learned what a triangle looks like? I believe so. I don't think I made any mistakes, but there was also a lot of triangular fish that I was able to feed it. So let's have a look. Yeah, looks good to me. I think it clearly has, I know for some of these, I just think these fish look like pizza slices with fins on them and a face. But yeah. Let's look. Yeah, perfect. 10 out of 10 or 100%. Yay. We have taught our AI what a triangle looks like. Yeah, what a triangular fish looks like. And yeah, here, for example, we can click on the eye and we can look at what features that we trained our AI with, and you can see like it's mostly body. We just taught it about body shape, right? That it's a triangle. So all these other body parts like fins, mouth, we didn't ask it to look at that. It's literally just the shape. So let me see if I can move on to the next one. And this is where it gets a bit more challenging, a bit more interesting, yeah? Because remember the things that we taught our AI from the beginning? So whether it's a fish or trash, that is something we can objectively, like nobody can fight you about this or, debate it. It's either is a fish or it's not. So there is a right and wrong. Because there's a fact. And then we asked like whether it's a sea creature or not, like where it belongs in the sea or not. Again, those are things we can all agree on. The fish will not survive outside the water, and trash doesn't belong in theirs either. So those are things, again, we can objectively all agree on that. And again, triangular, like we can scientifically, or mathematically prove something is triangle shaped. And those things are very easy for us to train AI with. And there's not much of a risk for us to believe when AI tells us like, this is a triangular fish. It's like, well, yes, it is, because that is what a triangle looks like. Those are kind of universal truths. We all agree on those things, right? But how about if we teach it another word? Something like happy, spooky, angry. I'm gonna go with happy because I find this is quite an easy one to demonstrate this entire topic with. And so if we have like I can actually get to click on happy. Um, so now we are going to try and see if we can teach AI, what fish looks happy, right? The word happy, the concept of happy, based on looking at a fish. Now, keep in mind, who is doing the training? Me. I am doing the training. And it all depends on what I consider to be happy. Now, I don't know if you will agree with what I think is happy. So, I'm going to make this weird criteria. I'm going to say all fish that have like a smiley face are happy. So not this guy, not that guy. Yes, this guy, not that guy. And it might not even be true because I don't know. Have you ever seen like one of those white sharks, great white sharks? They look like they're smiling, but they don't look happy. It's very toothy. So yeah, this kind of has like the smile shape, U-shaped mouth, so he could be happy. This does not have a U-shaped mouth, even though it probably is happy. So do you see what I mean? I'm like just randomly making up these rules and I'm determining what I think is happy. Now, this guy definitely not happy. Look at those eyebrows. Looks more like an angry bird. But I'm gonna say it's happy because my criteria is anything that has a smiley face is happy. See, this is a U-shaped face. So, happy, not, yes, no, yes. Keep training it some more. But again, I don't know if it's actually going to learn based on this criteria. Plus, the bigger problem here is that I don't think everyone's going to agree on my choices here. Some of these definitely do not look happy. Um, this one kind of does. Yes, yes, yes. Um, so you can see, when it comes to things that are more subjective in nature, meaning that like you can't objectively prove that it is that. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, so I'll do a few more. And yeah, so anything that we can't objectively prove that everyone agrees on is going to be very, very hard to train it with. So yeah, let's see if based on my instructions, it understands what's happy. And okay, it thinks that guy's happy. That is actually correct. It thinks this guy's happy because I said it has like a U-shaped mouth. Um, and yeah, I think we can all agree some of these are not necessarily happy. Okay, it got my U-shape mouth rule. It understood that. So technically, it didn't do a bad job. But now let's look at what it identified as happy. Okay, so this guy in the middle, just looking at those eyebrows, definitely not happy. This one, definitely angry looking. This one. And the reason this is relevant is because there's this thing called bias, right? AI bias. We keep thinking that machines, robots are naturally, automatically going to be neutral, that they're only going to have like one, like they're not going to think in either extremes on a topic, that they will have no only neutral opinions. But the thing is, that's not necessarily true because, again, keeping in mind, there's a human behind that machine, that robot that's being trained. And all humans have a natural bias. Like we all see the world differently, and we have different ways of seeing the world. And so what is true for someone is not true for someone else. That's on things that, debatably, are scientifically provable. But, now you also have people saying the earth is flat, So there are just certain things that people are always going to, that the, um, sorry, just give me 1 second. I need to check on something. Okay. So yeah, we're back. So basically, it really you need to keep in mind, who is really saying this. So what's true for one person isn't true for another, and that is particularly um, important to keep in mind when you are asking ChatGPT or any AI something that isn't just a pure fact, that is an opinion. So whether it's politics, whether it's health, whether it's lifestyle choices, these are things that you need to be careful about because it really depends on who programmed it, who trained it. Yeah. And I hope that comes across. This is something that makes sense to you. There is a whole section on this in another training that I'll talk to you about in a while. So we have got a certificate here of participation, but there's you would all be getting this if you had all been doing it on your screens, but you will be receiving your certificates of participation from the Break the Fake movement. So let's just make sure that um, you're wait, let me see. Make this full screen. Okay, let's just make sure that your attendance is registered somewhere, yeah? Okay, so we're going to go through a few of the, this exercise was really important for you to be able to see that, yes, someone is behind training the AI. Whatever it learns, even if it's wrong, that's what it's going to think is true. And, AI is really about, again, just an aid. We can't rely on it too much. And we definitely need critical human beings behind it so that we can actually remember. Um, so we definitely um, Sorry, I wasn't seeing that. Aha. I'm so sorry. I've had to suspend all of the activity on here. Sorry about that. Okay, that's my mistake. Okay, I'll quickly go back. So basically, prompting is appreciate you guys. I think you know why I've had to suspend the chat, so I'm not really in there anymore. Um, and trust me, this will be reported, but appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, so prompting is when what you ask your AI to do, right? Like if you give instructions to the AI or if you ask something of it, the clearer you are, the better it is. So it's like if you ask someone for a pen, you ask someone to buy you a pen and they come back and give you a really terrible pen and it's not at all what you asked for. Well, that's because you weren't clear about your instructions. And that's the same with AI. If you give it a weak prompt and tell it just blanket, explain AI to me, well, it's probably going to give you a very terrible answer. You didn't give it any context, no background, nothing. You didn't say what level or for what. But if you give it a good prompt example with as much detail as possible, saying what you need it for, you're a student learning about machine learning and you have a quiz, so you gave it clear purpose. You explain machine learning in simple words, as if ask it to explain in simple words, as if you're a beginner, you've defined the level. And you can ask it to use one real life example and one short analogy to help you remember. Boom, that's, very specific output. But you can also make it as give it to you in a bullet points or PDF format or a Word document. Just experiment. There's many things it can do. So if you ask it to another weak example is if you just say, help me study for an exam about AI, right? You've again, no context, no focus. It has no idea why you really want it. So the answer you're going to get, the output's not going to be very useful. So, however, sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So, if you're giving it a good prompt example, you'll be able to say, I'm preparing for an exam on algorithms. And here are my class notes. You can post your notes. You can, even if you do handwriting, scribbling, you can ask for them to be uploaded. And you can ask for it to summarize the key points into simple explanations, right? And that way you have given it accurate context. You're using your own notes, not stolen material. You don't have to worry about copyright, and you're still learning. That's the most important part. You haven't outsourced all the learning and the work to it, but it's helping you. It's a study aid, right? It's an assistant. You can ask it to create 5 short quiz questions. I mean, if you're a teacher and you just want to have like a little pop quiz or something, and you can ask it to help you with your review. And you can ask for examples that you can remember easily. So again, specific output and smart study. That's really the key here. So it's not about cheating faster, but it's about working smarter. And that's the whole idea we're promoting here. And yeah, you don't have to be perfect with your English, or you don't even have to write whole ideas. You can just even do brain dumps in it as well. And you can use different languages, bullet points, whatever. As long as you can write some words into it, AI can help you generate good ideas. Yeah. I do it all the time. Sometimes it's just brain dumps and snippets of ideas, and slowly we get there, and it helps me build what I'm trying to say. Because sometimes we just have so many thoughts and ideas in our head. So it can be very helpful for that. So yeah, about ethical and responsible use. Of course, no copy pasting, and I've said it several times because it just doesn't lead to learning. And it's really the idea is to boost your learning, right? So copy pasting is bad because AI can be outdated or incomplete. As you saw from the demonstration that I did, AI can hallucinate. It can literally make things up that aren't true. So you can avoid this by telling AI, when you ask it, when you prompt it, um, you can say, if you don't know the answer, say you don't know. That's really the best one. And the best way you can say, avoid it making things up. And yeah, you can see here there's many reasons why you shouldn't be just copy pasting, but most importantly, it's just not always reliable. As I mentioned, it's not always up to date. There's bias, and it's just still best to fact check and just read through something before you even read something out in public, you know? So yeah, if it sounds wrong, it very well might be. You can ask AI to explain in simple terms, and don't just trust it. You have to question it. You know, push back, argue with your GPT, or if you don't think it's true, ask another AI or go fact check it yourself in Google. It's a bit more work, but it is just safer. And I fight with my AI all the time. Sometimes it tells me something, and I'm like, no, that's literally not true. You said the opposite 5 seconds ago. So, yeah, Google still exists. Don't forget that. It's a bit more work, but it's free and it's there. And if you can check, learn something, find something with multiple sources that are reliable, that say the same thing, that's how you do real fact checking. Okay. So, yeah. AI is here to help, but it can't replace understanding. That's really something we still need to do our own, and that's why it's important to have these guiding practices to be able to make sure we can guide the younger people to be using it in a way that they will still be able to use their brains later on. And this might have been quite an information overload for some of you. It is a lot, especially if you're new to this. There is a lot of things that are just nice to know or more for context. But if you take away nothing from this session, if you remember nothing else, I would like you to remember these 5 takeaways. The takeaway number 1 is that AI is not magic. It is large data sets. And takeaway number 2, AI is trained by humans. I think you heard me say that enough today. AI only knows what it learned. Yeah, I think you saw that. Like if we teach it something wrong, it's not going to update it on its own. And takeaway number 4 is that AI is a tool. The outcome depends on how it is used, right? And takeaway number 5 is that it's really all about guiding the safe and savvy AI use. And that's what's going to lead to having control and overview of how younger people are learning and using AI moving forward. Banning is really not the solution because these kinds of bans tend to have a way of sneaking back and just backfiring in non-desirable ways. So with this, we are almost done. But for this section, yeah, absolutely. Congratulations. You have now completed your first step to becoming AI ready. It is a long journey, but you have started it. Well done to you. Despite all the disruptions, I hope you still were able to get the most out of the session. Now, if you, and absolutely, again, absolutely, I would like you to take a moment to pat yourself on the shoulder for investing and taking the time. I know you're all very busy, so I really appreciate it. And future you will thank you for for investing in this. And if you have enjoyed learning about AI, since you have completed this part one of getting like AI ready with me, you are now all eligible to get more training with part two of AI Ready ASEAN program, which is AI Class ASEAN. Yeah. So this is something you don't have to do now because our time is almost up, but it's a free online course. It lasts for 12 hours. And you can do this. The beauty of it is it's purely online. There's different modules. You can do them in your own time, at your own pace. Again, it's free. And you get an international certificate as well, which is pretty cool and, valuable as well, obviously. Strong foundation in AI basics. Again, hopefully you've built up somewhat of a strong, a good solid foundation here, but you can keep building on that. And it just, helps you move forward with, all things AI with much more confidence in the future. I'm going to quickly show you these modules. Most of them are compulsory. You have to do them in order before you can get to the next one. And at the end of each is like one or two quiz questions. Like it's really not that hard. It's a bit more of what you had today. For each of these modules, an expert in that field has recorded a presentation like I did today. So you have an introduction, the different types for everyday life, fundamentals in generative AI, AI prompting. There's a whole thing on really, really good prompting, much more thorough than what I showed you today, about how to work smarter and not harder, for content creation, AI for social media. And then these ones are about fake news, hoaxes, and misinformation. I think we all need that very much these days. Fundamental to develop AI learning, to create simple AI-based tools for anyone out there who wants to start developing. This is a really good one. Career opportunities, AI ethics and responsible use, ethical AI usage and plagiarism, copyright, a bit more of the same, data privacy, safety, and the future of AI development, AI for social good. Yeah. So if you're worried that I said these too fast, I mean, you could take pictures of these, but also on the website, if you go there, you will find it. Now, I do realize that we are at the end of this session, but due to the disruptions, this has come a bit to an abrupt end. But I do want to, before you leave you with this page, if you can see it, if you go to please take a picture of it, just so in case you're not able to do it right now. But yeah, www.aiclassasian.org, that's here. When you are asked for a referral code, if you can please use the one according to the location where you are from. So we have Biliran, Katbalogan City, Eastern Samar, Leyte, and Maasin City. They're all different referral codes, and that will be important for which class coordinator you get assigned to. So you want to be assigned to one from your region. Yeah. And hopefully you have all gotten this down. I'm very sorry that I'm not able to have a look at any of the comments in the messages in the chat at the moment, but we've had quite a turbulent session, and one person always spoils it for all, isn't it like that? So yeah, once you are in, it is very easy for you to have a solution. To have a session. You just start, and you will be able to see there is a chat bot if you have any issues. There's also a discussion forum where you can talk with other course takers from across the ASEAN countries. You'll get different badges, and they will color themselves in, so it's a bit gamified. And yeah, at the end, you will get your certificate. Okay, so I will see, sorry. So this is the post-assessment form. I will see if I manage to turn if I'm able to do this one thing. Okay, you should be able to start your videos. You should be able to start your videos for anyone who would like to be on the pictures. This will take a few minutes, especially because um because if well, thankfully we've not lost too many people, but because Zoom does not have a group picture function, and when there's this many participants, we do end up with a few pages in the gallery. So I would hate for you guys to miss out on a group picture because your region has been fantastic. So just let me set it up here so I can efficiently take these snapshots, and so that I can also make sure that they get saved and I don't lose them. Okay, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to say like who's on what slide and who can who can leave, so just try to hold your smile as long as you can. Apologies for that, but I'm going to start the first one now. Okay, so wait, I have to get rid of this text box. Okay, so we're not hiding anyone. Okay, ready. Okay, that's page number 1. I really appreciate you. You guys are such good sports. But this will be great for like ASEAN will be happy to see this, Break the Fake movement, DepEd, and I will just be doing this as fast as possible. With my snipping tool, what would I do without my snipping tool? Great. Oh, so lovely to see so many of you. That's amazing. So many of you. I love it. You're not camera shy. Thank you. Oh, I just have to take this one again. This one got blocked by a text box. Oh, such wonderful smiles. Thank you so much. Next page. Oh, so many of you with cameras. I love it. So nice to see your faces because, yeah, that's one of the things about doing it online. You don't necessarily get to see who you're talking to all the time. And that can be quite it can be quite sad sometimes because I don't get to see your reactions or know who I'm talking to. But at the same time, I am grateful for the fact that we can be online because I can reach you all the way here from my tiny island of Bohol. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. Oh wow, so many pages with people on a video, love it. Thank you for holding the smiles, beautiful smiles. Thinking about angry smiles because it's taking so long to take a group picture. Okay, there's considerably less people on camera further back. Okay, we've still got a few here. So, oh, okay. This is loading a bit slower. The faces keep changing. Okay. Brilliant. I think we're almost there because the pages further back don't have anyone on camera anymore, I don't think. Nope. Okay, it actually grouped it all the way to the front this time. Okay, I'm going to venture a look. Let me see. Okay, it's wonderful. Okay, we have reached the end of our session. Thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate your attending. I do hope that you were able to benefit and that it gives you information that you can use moving forward in your AI journey, however that may look. I really appreciate it. Well done. And also a huge thank you to whoever was organizing and coordinating through DepEd. Really appreciate this opportunity. And well done and good luck with if any of you are planning to take the online course of AI Class ASEAN. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All the best. Thank you. Bye. Oh, yes, it's optional to take the course. You absolutely don't have to, but you may. Okay. Bye.